Hello. Uh, Been a little bit of a video creation marathon today and over the last couple of days. I mean, most of the time, like I really do struggle, to get ideas for new content. But since creating the post on running shoes, I'm in the element actually. The ideas like just keep coming and coming. It's 3:30 in the morning at the moment. The usual me up really early. Looking forward to a morning run, which weather dependent. I'm hoping to start out about 9 or 10 when it's a little bit warmer. So this video is about choosing the right shoe because it's essential that you get what's right for you. And while looks, can play a part in that decision, other aspects are way more important, as choosing the wrong shoe can be disastrous. So how do you choose the right shoe? Well, actually, more pertinent to say is, how do I decide on a shoe? I actually use a list of priorities. Remember, I got dementia, so I can't remember. I don't remember a lot, so I actually have this list of stuff written down, what I use, and they're basically I use a list of priorities that include 4 points. But when you decide, or when you're looking to buy the right trainer for you, it's important to recognise that some of these following priority things that I'm going to talk about, they have a benefit, but there's also comes with a deficit too, as you'll find out as I go on. So first thing, if you watch my videos, for always going on about lockdown, but there's a reason for that. Lockdown is important because it really does help reduce injuries, such as blisters and the loss of toenails, but also makes you a more efficient runner. So So good lockdown makes the shoe more comfortable to wear, and for me, comfort is paramount with running. I kind of look at it is the goal is my goal is only to ever use good equipment that works, but more importantly, only equipment that doesn't have my focus. So something that you can buy, wear, and then completely ignore, so that you can solely concentrate on the actual act of running and nothing else. So it's good to have a nice pair of shoes, but you don't want to be constantly thinking about them, or focusing on them, thinking, is it going to slip off, or my foot hurts, or anything like that. So that's the number one priority, lockdown. But you can do a lot about that anyway. So even if say for example, if you buy a shoe and the lockdown's not very good, you can I suppose you could use a runner's knot. That actually really does help with lockdown. I'll put a slidey thing up there on how to use a runner's knot. So the second thing I look at is heel to toe drop. That's actually measured in millimetres, and basically, I don't know if you've noticed this on a pair of trainers, but the trainers, they'll have a thick heel and a thinner front foot cushion, yeah. And the heel to toe drop is kind of like the difference between the bigger heel and the smaller, yeah. So as you can imagine, a larger heel, in other words, yeah, you'll have a larger heel to toe encourages heel strike running, and a smaller heel to toe encourages midfoot striking. So if you're new or an older runner, a larger heel to toe might be more beneficial, especially if you're prone to getting injured. In my experience, a larger heel to toe results in less injuries, but it can, if you're when you're new, it can result in lower back pain if you push the miles too quickly. So I know this is probably this isn't actually related to the actual shoe, but always progress slowly. Allow your body to adjust to the new pressures that running brings. Heel to toe shoes that encourage mid and front foot striking can result in calf tears and shin splints. I know that actually from personal experience. It was a cause of much misery in my life, in my return to running in 2020. I hadn't run for 10 years or whatever, and I came right back. I bought a pair of Saucony Kinvara, actually running those for a year or so. Something like that. And that the Kinvara only actually has like a 4mm heel to toe drop, and that was causing I had problems with calf tears and shin splints. They just wouldn't go away. So when I switched to a neutral, slightly cushioned stability shoes, and that made all the difference. Generally though, shoes that have a low heel to toe are better for experience and younger runners, and also runners that aren't prone to injury. So just to put this in perspective, of the three shoes that I've running in the last 3 years, the Asics Nova Blast actually has a 15mm heel to toe, and they're a cushioned shoe. The Velocity Nitro 2s from Puma, they have a 12mm heel to toe, and they're a slightly cushioned stability shoe. And as I said, the Saucony Kinvara has a heel to toe for just 4mm. So they're basically I started it out in completely the wrong shoe, got it back to front. That's me all over. So cushioning is the next thing I want to talk about, but only briefly. Cushioning actually is a dual, what I call a dual-edged sword. In a large cushion shoe will help soak up impact, but producing less injuries obviously, but at the cost of speed, obviously, because the sole is soaking it up the impact. The impact isn't going into pushing yourself off; it's soaking into the cushion. Large cushion, less impact, less injuries, but at the cost of speed. And vice versa, a low cushion shoe will help you run faster but increase the possibility of an injury. So pronation. Research actually shows that, believe it or not, about 80% of runners are actually running in shoes that don't actually suit their running style. But I have to say, in the beginning, if you hardly run or you're completely new to it after a break, you know, it's going to be pretty hard to get the right shoe. And also, in my experience, the shoes that provide this service are always like trying to get you to buy an expensive shoe that might not be right for you in 6 months after you've gained some experience. So my advice, if you're new to running, is to purchase a cushion stability shoe. Perhaps even consider adding an impact resistant insole. It'd be fair to say that while heel striking is the best way to go initially, long term it'll be way more efficient and better for your future running to try and develop a midfoot style, but with the added protection of a cushion and an insole. There's like quite a few impact resistant insoles available. I actually used the Inerta D30 for, I don't know, about 3 or 4 years, and that was actually really good. Actually, that did like cut down on the injuries a hell of a lot, but their focus is 100% on cushioning. They were great insole. But there's also the Ultimate Performance, which I'm using at the moment, which is designed to add cushioning along with a little bit of stability as well. And when I'm wearing them, I can literally feel they're like forcing my foot to run mid-foot. So the secret, in a way, is don't rush. When deciding, I know you might see a pair of trainers that you think, whoa, wow, they look awesome. Don't go for those, whatever, because they're more likely to be wrong. But it's pretty hard, actually, to be honest, for me to make a specific recommendation on which shoe is best for you. But you can use the tips I've provided here, along with researching the type of shoes available and what you need. As I said in the intro, choosing the right shoe should be your number one priority. Don't rush. See what each manufacturer has to offer for your style, ability, and experience level. If anything, you could find a runner coach and pay for a single lesson to get their opinion on your pronation. But remember to tell them that you're new, and if that's the case, injury prone too, so they can kind of like build that into their they can build that in their opinion, on what shoe would be best for you. And also they'll know about the different running shoes as well. Actually, a really small tip actually on running coaches, and again this is from like personal experience. Go for a coach that specialises in only running. They are about. I don't know if you've got like a running club in your, where you live or in the town or wherever. Get in touch with them, and they have like coaches that are specifically trained in running, all types of running as well. And whatever you do, don't use a coach that doesn't actually specialise in running. And well, they might say, I do running, but they also might teach sport, all types of sport, fitness, and all that sort of stuff. You just want a coach that doesn't run and run only. One final point worth mentioning is investing in some compression socks. These will also lessen the possibility of getting injured. That's pretty much it for today. Hopefully you found some beneficial information in the content. Thanks for watching. Please comment, like and subscribe, and you know what I'm going to say. I'll see you in the next one. See ya.